Alright guys, let's get straight to the point. I am going to show you guys how to update your Fujifilm camera. I have my Fujifilm X100V here, brand new, and I'll show you how to do this. First, before you do anything with the computer, you will have to check the firmware on your Fujifilm camera to make sure that you actually have an update on their website. How you can do it is by pressing and holding the display button at the bottom. It should be at the back, and turn on the camera while holding onto the display button. And you will see that your camera has a firmware version. It says 2.00 on my X100V, and on your camera it might show a lens firmware as well if you have a Fujifilm camera with the X mount removable lens. So this is my firmware version 2.00, and I'll need to update it to, I believe, 2.01. What you need to do right now is to turn off the camera and turn it back on, and make sure you have an SD card inside your camera, and make sure that SD card can be formatted, because you do have to format the entire SD card in order to put it into your computer to download the firmware. So what you need to do is to go into menu and go to the bottom on the left, go to user settings and format. Make sure that this is okay to do onto your card, because you will have to format everything, including all your pictures and videos. So make sure you have an empty card or a card that you can erase. So after formatting your card, you will now need to take the SD card and insert it into your computer to put the firmware onto the SD card. So let's turn off the camera and go to the computer. So take your SD card out. Let's put away the camera, and I will now record the computer screen for you guys. Okay, so the next step is to put the formatted SD card into your computer, Windows or Mac, it doesn't really matter. Open up the browser on your computer and search Fujifilm. For my camera, it will be 100V, X100V firmware. And you should see a website with the name Fujifilm-X.com. That's the official Fujifilm website. Just click onto that and make sure that the camera name is correct on the screen. And as you can see on my screen right now, it's gonna be firmware version 2.0.1, which is higher than the one that I had on my camera, still a little bit higher, so I'm just gonna update it anyway. Firmwares are always good to update on your camera. Usually they have improvements. So you just need to go to the bottom of the page and click on to agree and click on download, and it should be downloaded onto your download folder. Once that's done downloading, all you need to do is to move that file to your SD card. Don't open up or create any folder, just drag and drop that file called fpupdate.dat onto your SD card, just like that, and eject your SD card before you unplug it. So now we are back to the camera. We have the new firmware installed or moved to the formatted SD card. What we need to do right now is to put that SD card back into the camera. Do the same thing, press and hold the display button and turn on the camera. And it will bring you to the page where you can update or upgrade the firmware. It will show you the same version because you still have to go through the updating process. Just click OK or press OK on your camera. And it will ask you if you want to upgrade the firmware from whatever version you have on your camera to the latest one. You will have to move the cursor to OK and press OK. And it will ask you to not to open the battery cover or not to turn off the camera during the update, because it might ruin the software or the firmware upgrade process. So just click on OK, and it will take some time to go through the process. Again, do not turn off the camera or open up the battery door during this process. You don't want any power cutoff. And just another side note, make sure that your battery is fully charged so you won't have the camera turn off itself because of low battery during the upgrade process. You really don't want to do that. So now we're done upgrading the firmware. As you can see, it will show you the latest firmware. I know the screen is kind of bright for my camera. I hope you can see that it has been updated to 2.0.1. You can now turn off the camera and turn it back on and use it with the latest firmware. If you want to check and see if it's been updated correctly, again, just click on to display and turn on the camera, press and hold display and turn on the camera, and it will show you the firmware once again. And that's it. Let us know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.